Today, we have a special guest, a contestant on the most recent episode of Shark Tank. And we're going to be watching their pitch on Shark Tank, and they're going to give us some behind-the-scenes reveals of what it was like to be on the show.
Presented by Disney's Moana 2, only in theaters
This is
November
their
27th.
pitch. I'm bringing on Bob Iger to pitch his new product, Moana 2, that's going to save Disney.
Of how badass you are.
No, sir.
I like these guys.
I like these guys too. Let me welcome on the creators of Creator Camp to our stream. Thank you for coming on to the broadcast. Super excited to have you guys. So before I jump into this, I know only the title of your product. And I gotta tell you, I'm a little worried because I already have a general deep fear in my heart of, you know, when you go in a restaurant and see a kid on an iPad, and now I'm worried that they're gonna be sent to camp to do more of that. But before I jump in, were you guys nervous? Was this, you're walking down the hallway. Is there any rehearsal?
Oh yeah, like we rehearsed this pitch until it was like burned into our brains. And this was probably like the scariest thing I've ever done in my life.
Okay.
The producer said like, there's two most important days in your life. One of them is like your wedding. The second one is going on Shark Tank. So
when you're pitching, do you even know if you're gonna make it to air? Like I assume some get cut. So you don't. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah.
No. The entire, throughout the entire thing, they would always remind us like, oh, and by the way, guys, there's no guarantee you air.
Do you get a second chance on anything? So once you walk out there, if you flub your intro, you can't like...
No, it's all 100%. Like you have one shot to do it and then you're done. There's no redos at all.
We've seen people mess up on Shark Tank, right? Like you've seen clips of people messing up. So we're super nervous that it would happen to us too.
Did you guys study a bunch of Shark Tank before you went on? Did you watch a bunch of good and bad pitches?
We did.
yeah.
We're here seeking $350,000 in exchange for 5% equity of our company, Creator Camp.
All right, pause again. What was your math? How do you determine the valuation here? What formula do you put on to make it appealing to the sharks specifically compared to just what you're raising money at?
Basically, like, every company that goes into Shark Tank gets ripped off in some way. Like your valuation gets basically cut in half by them. So we had to lowball like to the max.
All right, so two questions on that. First one is there's a rumor that just by going on Shark Tank, they used to get a cut of your company. They got 2%. That's gone now, right? You didn't.
I think actually the Sharks fought for that to be gone.
Mark Cuban.
Yeah, I heard Cuban. Okay, I was confirming 100%. You've been on the show and they didn't take a cut of your company. Okay. If that's the case though, isn't the strategy to like make your valuation as high as possible so that when they cut it down, it's still like...
I think you got to be reasonable in some sense. So like you got to make it high, but you got to make it so that they can like they're just not instantly out because they think you're just insane. Okay. So that was our thinking.
Sharks, has this ever happened to you? You're going to a nice restaurant. You hear it before you see it. The tablet kid.
Chat, I just want to promise you from the bottom of my soul, I did not know this was part of their pitch. I promise from all my heart, I'm going in blind. I literally just heard the words Creator Camp and thought of tablet kids. That's crazy. Can I ask, when you guys practice this, do you feel, like, are you feeling awkward when you guys are alone in like, I assume a hall, like doing the little rowboat? And
we've done a few other pitches where we did a skit and they always like, the audience always resonated with that. And so we were just like, oh, it was always like the iPad kid type sketch. Okay. And so we brought that to here because it's I can't believe you said that earlier about seeing an iPad kid in a restaurant. Like that's exactly the problem. We actually entirely practiced over Zoom just because Kaisei lives in Australia. And so it's like even more awkward than us standing together. Like we're alone in our rooms doing like the little routine. Yeah, I mean, the shark, we gotta laugh, so we'll take it.
No, I mean, to be fair, we've watched a lot of Shark in the stream. They always give a laugh.
By teaching them how to use their devices as a tool to create.
Summer program that teaches kids content creation, music production, and game design, all using their tablets.
The most popular career choice for kids today is no longer being an astronaut or even a basketball team owner either.
No, sir. It's being a content creator.
Okay, I want to pause. So this is what I thought, and I think this is why it's such a brilliant business idea. Like it obviously sounds really smart, But isn't it kind of scary? Like, isn't it kind of cosmically scary that every child wants to be a content creator?
The whole idea is like they already want to be content creators. Once we get them into the class, we're teaching them like real skills, that they can take into the real world. You're
baiting them into thinking they're going to be PewDiePie, and instead they get to learn how to actually like make a game or direct.
Well, they still get to kind of live out, they still get to live out that dream of being a YouTuber, but like in a safe camp environment. But I mean, if you go back before content creators, it's like kids would watch movies and want to be movie stars or that kind of thing. So it's kind of just the modern equivalent. I understand the hesitance though.
That year we brought in about $60,000 in revenue.
Okay.
Year 3, things started to really snowball from there. We expanded to multiple locations. We brought in $300,000 in revenue. And now this summer.
So can I ask, first year you guys did this, was it just you 3 teaching?
Yeah, it was just us
four
teaching
of us.
everything.
The first year had to be the hardest, right? To get parents to convince their kids to send their kids to these 4 dudes.
Establishing credibility was the hardest thing at first. Kai has a younger brother who was like the age range. He was like
he's like 12, I think.
Yeah, we like took pictures of him in like a Creator Camp shirt to kind of establish credibility. Like, oh look, we can teach kids.
We've been doing this for multiple years here.
We all come from different creative backgrounds of like either film or YouTube or animation. So we were like, oh, I mean, we can teach kids. How hard could that be? Let's see how it goes.
How hard was it? First year, I mean.
But the day one was super awkward. None of us come from teaching backgrounds, so working with kids on day one was interesting.
What year's the first one? Was that 2020?
2021.
2021. What was the slang back then?
Among Us. Among Us. Okay. Among Us was huge in 2021, and it's still huge to this day. It's like not gone away.
Right now, we have 27 locations.
What? Wow. You guys have 27 camps? You scaled fast.
Yeah, 27 locations.
That's
it's a lot to manage.
Yeah, it seems very difficult. Well,
yeah. We have to hire, we hired 100 staff last summer just to manage it all.
So we tend to partner with schools, churches, community centers. We also get to directly advertise to their student bodies, as well as even hire some of their teachers occasionally.
We'll have 3 to 4 camps running at a time.
I think as a student, it would be pretty funny if my math teacher shows up in my YouTuber class. I assume the whole point is that regular teachers these kids are dealing with aren't even in this world. They can't.
Yeah, we're hiring like the young teachers that are like kind of understand this stuff. I imagine if you're a kid seeing your teacher like teaching a YouTube class, you would think that they're the coolest.
Yeah, both teachers and students they want to have fun. Like throughout the school year, they don't really get to have fun. They only get to like do academic stuff. So during the summer, both the teacher and the students like get to just let loose and do what they actually want to do.
I mean, I guess for a teacher, it would be a nice change of pace to have students that are actually engaged.
I used to be a YouTuber myself. I got to 140,000 subscribers, over 50 million channel views. But then during college, I also studied game programming.
Okay, I gotta pause. What was your channel? What was your channel about?
Okay, you can search it up.
These are huge. You also vlogged your house getting flooded by Hurricane Harvey. That's illusion, Hurricane Harvey, illusion, Hurricane Harvey. The obvious test. Let's see.
How much dirt is there in a 14 by 12 by 10 hole?
No idea. I assume just multiply it. So 120 times 14. 1,480. Oh, wait. There's no dirt in a hole. Very
if
smart.
You're in a race and you overtake the person in second place. What place?
You're in second place. You're in second place. And I know this because this is a question in Paper Mario. If you pass the 6th, 5th, and 4th place runners in a marathon, you'll finish in 3rd place. Am I stupid? You finish in 3rd place. I'm blown away. If it's a trick question, I'm gonna break my controller. I'm gonna break my controller. Ah! Ah! Oh, what does that mean?
Say silk 5 times.
Silk, 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 silk.
Spell silk.
S-I-L-K.
What do cows drink?
Milk. Oh.
No, not milk. They drink water, just like any other animal.
That video got more views than anything I've ever done. It's really truly brilliant.
350,000, 5% imputes a $7 million valuation. How'd you come up with that?
I mean, next summer, we're looking to expand to a total of 35 Creator Camp locations. We'll bring in about $1.3 million in revenues. We're still only confined to our home state of Texas.
In fact, some families have traveled all the way to our camps to Texas.
Really?
Wow.
Is this your full-time job?
It is.
I mean, I gotta pause. I assume some families are just desperate. They got kids that are cracked out on a device and they need something productive for them to do. They need some hope. They need some like idea that this can be useful at time. Is that your experience talking to some of these parents, or like are they at their wits' end? Any of them?
Wits' end is strong. I would say though, yeah. I mean, our whole shtick is just like transforming kids from just like consumers to creators, showing them that like a tablet is more than a toy and can just be a tool. So yeah, a lot of parents find like solace in our camps in being a space they can like send their kids to kind of learn.
Do you ever worry that like by making these kids more productive that it might cut into my ad revenue? Does that ever keep you up at night?
That's what we teach them. We teach them to be streamers that will eventually be better than this guy called Atrioc.
Yeah. My foundation, Mark Cuban AI Bootcamp.
Yeah.
It's free, it's around the country, and we train, which is geared a lot towards content creation. Profitable, you're growing, but it's a conflict for me, so for those reasons, I'm out.
Did you expect that going in from Mark Cuban?
No, that was a
Not
huge
at
loss.
all.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you at the beginning which shark you wanted, but I almost guessed it would be Mark Cuban out of the gate. I feel like with your...
Everyone wants Mark. He's like the most influential, like 17th richest person on earth.
You know, based on, we watched a ton of them and we looked at the stats, Lori has done pretty well too. Like Lori and Mark seem to have more value than generally the other ones, but they have their unique areas.
I could see kids loving this. Unfortunately, I don't see it as the right investment for me.
Okay, so that's 2 down. The 2 that we said are probably the tip top.
They kind of dropped like flies, being honest. And we were like, I felt every single one, and my heart was dropping every single time. It was like in my stomach at that point.
Here's the thing about my world. 80 to 90% of my investments go to zero. The 10 to 20% that make it need to be large enough exits for me to cover all the losses that I incur.
I like that he's mansplaining angel investments to you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, he's being nice about it at least.
It's like, yeah, I assume you guys understand that if you've built.
So I'm out.
Completely understood. Yeah.
So there's a pattern we see a lot on this stream when we're watching these Shark Tanks where they'll go around the entire table of sharks and they will all compliment the hell out of the business and then all be out. And it just it's got to feel kind of shitty on the other side of it where they're just like, man, your business is so great. I love it. It's doing so well. Unfortunately for me, though, they all have some reason, but it...
Yeah, it was like positive, positive, positive. Like literally, like he even said, like, I'll bring my like son to Creator Camp, but I'm out. Like, okay.
We were a little worried that like if there's any TV moments, if everything is just so smooth, like
you
might
might not
air.
make it. Yeah. At the end of the day, you know, even if you don't get a deal, which I guess you guys, okay, let's be honest here. Did you guys even want a deal? Going into it.
Yeah, once you get a deal, like you get the backing of the shark, like that's worth a lot. So
is it though?
We
That's
definitely,
the question.
Our mentality in the Shark Tank was like, we're all coming from creative backgrounds, and yes, we built this business up to like multiple locations across Texas, but still none of us have that business background or know-how to really like take this to the next level, you know? And so going to Shark Tank, as well as the money to help accelerate the company, we were like, oh, with an experienced shark with their team, they can definitely take Creator Camp to that, you know, national level.
Okay.
I think I could make a lot of money. You could make a lot of money if I turn into a franchise.
So what are you going to do,
However, it's a hell of a lot of work. I've been there a couple of times.
100%.
I want to be equal partner, the three of you. 25%, but I know you have a few little partners in there somewhere. So say 20%. But you have to be committed to the franchise model.
Okay, let's pause for a second. Barbara came in with a shark-like offer. She wants 20%, a fifth of the company. Pretty big offer. What are you thinking? What's going through your head? Did you guys set some hard limits going in, knowing that they're gonna play hardball with you?
We definitely had like a number in our head. We knew that they wouldn't accept. What were we going in with, like 5%?
Yeah.
What we did know is we needed to negotiate if we wanted to be like aired. So we definitely we weren't just gonna accept the first thing.
You had to add some drama to it. You should have called Mr. Wonderful bald. No one's done that yet. I think that would make it great TV. You should have thrown a little spice.
Just point out the obvious. Yeah.
So you are actually right now. You guys are considering it, and you can't. You have to do it live in front of them, basically.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out what the hell to counter with.
Yes, thank you so much for your offer. We'd love to meet at 15.
How about 20?
20? You can do 17.5.
I started at 25, remember? So
Well, she started at 25, but then offered 20, and then you said 15. She said 20 again. You guys kind of folded to 17 and a half. But I think based on what you're saying, you're okay with 20 already and just wanted to negotiate to be on the show. Is that where you're?
We wanted to go lower than 20, honestly, because I think we were shooting for around 10 to 15.
Okay.
15 was the number we had in our heads.
Would you do 20 for 400?
No, 350 is the number.
She's kind of cooking you so far this negotiation. I got to be honest with you.
Okay, I'll take 19% so you have your ego intact.
We'll do 18.
Oh?
You got it.
Good job,
I watched
Hey, pretty good. You basically got it down to 17.5, which is what you were asking for. That's pretty good. You got that last hit in. Pretty good round. Okay, so you got to deal with Barbara. Now, can I ask, some of these deals, they don't happen at once the show ends. Is this still, as far as we know, going on? Is this a deal that's real?
Yeah.
The deal went through.
It went through.
That's awesome. Congratulations. That's really cool. You guys made it through Shark Tank with a deal. I know you can't tell us everything here, but Chad always wants to know, what does that look like?
Yeah, I mean, we've met with her team a few times now with obviously the plans for the future of where to take the business. It's been really good so far, meeting with them and kind of figuring out the route forward.
She doesn't watch, by the way. You can say what you want. She doesn't. She's not a viewer of mine.
No, we genuinely we love Barbara. She's great.
Okay.
She's very cool. She actually, after we filmed the episode, there was actually, it was up in the air on if we were going to air or not. And we at first were told we probably would not air, but she ended up fighting for us and it happened.
Did you guys get a spike of new signups after this aired?
Yeah. Well, we got a lot of web visitors. Unfortunately, it's no one's in the mindset to buy summer camps at the moment. If this aired in March, I think that would have been massive.
Right,
for us,
it is late in the year.
Yeah, no one's.
Congratulations.
I assume pretty relieving at this point, that you actually, it seemed like things were going sour pretty quickly and you got the deal.
Yeah, I mean, we were feeling good. I don't think we really knew what was going on. Jackie he recently made a reel where he just kind of explains he kind of just blacked out and didn't know what was going on for after this.
I don't remember any of this. And I realized I was dapping up Barbara because I was trying to give her a handshake and a hug at the same time.
Yeah.
And we all ended up dapping her up.
That's awesome, guys. I mean, that's super congrats. That is cool. And I think it is a really cool idea. Can I ask you a couple more questions about this business? Since I don't think the Sharks grilled you enough, I got to really get into the weeds. This is a serious. Do you guys get some kids that are beyond saving?
There are of course some harder kids than others. What's cool though? A lot of them will even make films that you would consider brain rot, or they're making a film where they're doing a live action Among Us or something.
Sure.
And you see that and you're like, oh, it's brain rot or whatever. But still, it's a kid making something, and we're that's worth celebrating. But
yeah, there's this one kid that had to be watching YouTube shorts while he was learning, had to, or else he just could not learn. That's but he still learned. He just had to be watching something.
That's crazy. I legitimately think, now that I understand more of what you guys are doing, that it's actually such a cool idea and a good business. Spoonful of sugar with the medicine kind of thing, where they're getting the fun but actually learning. I think that's really cool. I think it's not just a daycare for kids that are addicted to iPads, but an actual. Yeah, it's cool.
We get emails from parents, they're still working on animations or filmmaking on their iPad after the camp. So it works. It's transformative.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Let's say there was someone, for example, an Atrioc chatter, and they're 19 years old, but they're mentally 12. Could they still enter this camp? Are they still gonna?
We cannot help them.
Yeah, I figured. Hey, I don't blame you. I've been trying. It can't be done. Is there anything, in this whole experience that you want to share that we haven't talked about? I would love to hear anything you thought people would want to know about.
we've got a pretty funny story. Like just before we were about to walk out, this producer just starts talking to us about, he's like, where are you guys from? And we're like, Houston. There's a timer, like a 10-second timer. And he's like, did you know that like we just drafted one of your basketball players? And like none of us know anything. And like this is about to be the biggest experience of our life. And this dude's talking about drafting like a player from Houston.
Like, just shut the fuck shut up, dude. Let me think.
Yeah.
I gotta practice my rowing.
Like Jackie said with blacking out, like I have so little memory of like what actually happened in there. Whenever we first left, I think we all like, in my head, I felt like we were out there for like 5 minutes, when in reality, like we looked at like the clocks and stuff, and it was a whole hour that we had spent. I know I had like very dumb moments in there that luckily got cut out.
They got cut. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So there's like a few moments where like their questions were overlapping, and I tried to answer a few at the same time. And like, like Mark was like, "Hey, like she's trying to make you an offer. Why are you like doing this right now?" And I was like, "Oh, I didn't
Mark,
read the
you've
room."
been scolding me.
No, all the sharks were very nice to us. I mean, the weirdest thing is how real the show is. Like, I fully believed we were going to get like multiple attempts at our like the pitch or things like that, but no, like it is all, you have one shot out there, and so having like months of preparation for one moment is just, it's a lot of high pressure.
That's actually pretty cool to hear, given how much we watch Shark Tank here, and we can't tell whether it's how much is staged or not. That's cool. And the fact the deal was real and like went through, and you're meeting with Barbara afterward and her team is cool.
Some people are asking, are we hiring year-round positions? We're not, but we're only hiring seasonal positions. But you can apply on creatorcamp.org, join our team page. Like we do like background checks and stuff. That's how we do our vetting process.
I mean, if their background check says
earlier.
Atrioc chatter, you should hire them on the spot, because you're getting the best and the brightest. You're getting the fiercest. I mean, digital warriors really understand.
Digital warriors.
Funniest chat I've seen was like we were only about a minute in, and then someone said, "How do I short this company?"
I was basically worried because I met you guys earlier today and you were super nice, and I was like, what if I hate this company? Because normally when we watch these, I don't know, I mean, you guys reached out to me, so maybe you saw some of the reacts we did, but usually we're not, you know, we make fun of all the pitches. But honestly, you know, sincerely, I think this is a really good idea. I think this is, I have some cousins who I wish were at this camp. I think it would be helpful for them. Super appreciate you guys coming on. Maybe if you have some big update in the future, come back on and tell us about it, or any funny stories. We'd love to talk to you again. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.
See ya.
Yeah. Bye.
That was pretty fun. Those guys were cool. They were super nice. I sincerely believe that would be a good idea. I just don't know if it'll save some of these kids.